Okay, imagine this. A countdown timer just appears in your vision, like right there, a cosmic clock ticking down. What do you even do? And what if humanity's entire future hangs on a secret betrayal, one that happened decades ago? Today, we're taking a deep dive into Liu Cixin's The Three-Body Problem, published back in 2008, but the English translation in 2014 really made waves. Yeah. And look, this isn't just sci-fi. It's way more. It's this really intense mix of hard science, political thriller, and a kind of deep, unsettling mystery.
Absolutely. And our mission here is basically to give you a shortcut through its, well, pretty complex story. We want to unpack the huge implications of humanity's first real contact with aliens. We'll be jumping around a bit in time from the Chinese Cultural Revolution, which is brutal, to modern-day China, exploring physics, politics, philosophy. It's all in there.
Okay, let's unpack this then, because the story grabs you right away with this really raw human tragedy that honestly sets up everything else. We start right in the middle of China's Cultural Revolution, a really tumultuous time.
Yeah, exactly. We meet Ye Wenji. She's a brilliant young astrophysicist, and she witnesses something truly horrific. Her own father is brutally killed by the Red Guards right in front of her. That moment, it just completely shatters her faith in humanity. I mean, completely. And this deep personal disillusionment, it becomes the trigger for something cosmic.
Right. And that trauma, that disillusionment, it leads you to this very secret place, the Red Coast base. On the surface, it's, a military thing, radio waves. But the real goal, the secret goal, is searching for extraterrestrial life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's there that Ye Wenji does something, well, unauthorized, something that changes everything.
She figures out how to massively boost Earth's radio signal, actually using our sun, believe it or not, like a giant amplifier. And she sends a message out, way out into space. Years pass. Then she gets a reply, and it's stark. A warning from an alien, a Trisolaran, saying, essentially, don't answer again. If you do, we're coming.
But here's the twist, the really shocking part. What Ye Wenji does next. Despite this incredibly clear warning, she replies, because she's so profoundly let down by humanity, maybe she thinks we need some kind of outside force, even a harsh one.
Exactly. She replies. She basically sends an invitation. Come here. Our civilization can't solve its own problems. I will help you conquer us.
It's a massive betrayal, born from this really deep despair, a desire for change no matter the cost. It's wow.
And what's really fascinating is how the book then just shifts perspective. Suddenly we're seeing things from the aliens' point of view. The Trisolarans, they're from the Alpha Centauri system, our nearest star system, but their planet orbits 3 suns.
Yeah, the title itself, The Three-Body Problem, it sounds so technical, right? How does that physics problem become, like, the core of their whole existence, their struggle?
It's actually quite brilliant storytelling, that 3-body problem. In physics, it means you can't predict the gravitational interactions perfectly. For their planet, this translates into total environmental chaos. They have these chaotic eras where their world gets instantly superheated or frozen or even flung towards the sun. Survival is incredibly difficult.
Oh, just utter unpredictability.
Utter unpredictability, followed by maybe brief, precious, stable eras where civilization can try to rebuild. Before the next chaotic period hits, it makes life a constant, desperate struggle.
So, okay, facing total destruction on their world, they look outwards, and Earth, it looks like paradise.
Yeah.
Stable orbit, predictable climate.
Exactly. So they make the decision, invade Earth, and they start this immense journey, 450 years across space to get here.
Which is just mind-boggling in itself, that time scale.
It is. And centuries later, back on Earth, in the present day, the Trisolarans are still way out there, but their influence starts to be felt. This is where we meet Wang Miao, a physicist working with nanomaterials. He gets drawn into this weird mystery because top scientists are suddenly committing suicide.
Yeah, that's deeply unsettling. And there's this mysterious group, the Frontiers of Science, that seems kind of linked to it all.
Mm-hmm. And Wang starts experiencing strange things himself, personally. Like that countdown you mentioned, appearing literally in his vision.
Right. Just imposed on his sight.
And his physics experiments, they start going haywire, producing results that are just chaotic, impossible, according to known laws.
So reality itself seems to be breaking down for him.
Pretty much. And his investigation leads him to this incredibly realistic virtual reality game called Three-Body.
Ah, the game.
Yeah. And this isn't just a game. It simulates the Trisolaran world with terrifying accuracy, and it's actually a recruitment tool.
A recruitment tool for the aliens.
Exactly. It draws people in, makes them understand the Trisolaran plight, sympathize with them, and maybe even join their cause here on Earth.
Okay, so how are the Trisolarans, who are still centuries away, actually doing all this? The suicides, the weird physics, the game.
Huh. This is where it gets really clever and, frankly, terrifying. They've sent something ahead. Subatomic particles called SOFINs.
SOFINs, like smart particles.
Basically, yes. Think of them as proton-sized supercomputers unfolded into higher dimensions given artificial intelligence. They travel to Earth at near light speed, and they have two main jobs. First, mess with our particle accelerators, disrupt fundamental physics research. That's why the experiments are failing, why scientists are despairing. They think science itself is broken.
So they're actively blocking our scientific progress.
Actively. And second, they are everywhere. They can observe anything, anywhere, instantly. They're omnipresent spies, which explains how they know who's getting close to the truth, leading to those suicides.
Wow. That's a chilling concept. Science itself being sabotaged.
Yeah.
It really hits that theme of science versus, well, not religion, but a loss of faith in the very laws of the universe.
Precisely. What happens when you can no longer trust the fundamental rules? It's an existential dread that Liu Cixin explores really effectively.
And these sympathizers, the ones recruited through the game, they form an organization.
They do. Wang eventually uncovers it, the Earth Trisolaran Organization, or ETO.
And the leader, don't tell me.
Yep. None other than Yi Wenji herself, decades later.
Still driven by that initial disillusionment. It's fascinating, though, that the ETO isn't just one solid block of villains, right? It's fractured.
Very fractured. You have the hardcore members who genuinely want to help the Trisolarans conquer Earth. They believe humanity is corrupt, irredeemable. But then you have others, the sort of naive idealists, who think the Trisolarans will somehow purify humanity, fix our flaws. They don't fully grasp the implications.
That seems like a key point Liu Cixin makes, that sometimes well-meaning idealism can be just as dangerous as outright wanting destruction.
Absolutely. The ETO isn't just passing messages. They're actively working against Earth's defenses, against our science, paving the way for the invasion because of these complex, divided beliefs about humanity's worth.
So how does this phase of the story resolve? Does Wang stop them?
Well, Wang, along with a detective named Shi Kang and help from the Chinese military and some international cooperation, they do manage to expose the ETO. They raid their headquarters, dismantle a large part of the organization. They even capture a Trisolaran communication device.
Okay, so that's a win, right? Getting some intel.
It's a small victory, yes. They get valuable information, terrifying information about the Trisolarans, their capabilities, their intentions. But the core reality hasn't changed. The Trisolaran fleet, still on its way. The SOFINs, still here, watching everything, blocking our science.
So Earth is basically technologically stalled and completely exposed.
Pretty much. Earth knows the invasion is coming, but we're vastly outmatched, and the enemy's spies are everywhere. The novel ends on this really sobering note. We reached out, and maybe we doomed ourselves. Our place in the cosmos just fundamentally shifted.
Yeah, it moves way beyond just the plot. The three-body problem really pushes you to think about these huge questions. First contact, obviously, but what it actually reveals about us.
Definitely. It puts human nature right under the microscope. Are we fundamentally flawed? Capable of redemption, Yi Wenji's choice, the ETO's existence. It forces you to consider humanity's dark side and also our capacity for, well, really misguided hope.
And it brings in this idea of cosmic sociology, which later gets called the dark forest theory in the sequels. Can you touch on that briefly?
Sure. It's a chilling idea. Basically, it suggests that the universe is like a dark forest. Every civilization is a hidden hunter. If you reveal your location, another hunter might see you as a potential threat and destroy you just to be safe. So, silence is survival. It flips the whole optimistic idea of seeking out alien life completely on its head.
Wow. So discovery equals danger.
Potentially, yes. It suggests a universe that's inherently hostile, or at least ruthlessly pragmatic in a terrifying way.
This whole deep dive, it really does challenge assumptions, doesn't it? About civilization, science, our own survival instincts.
It absolutely does. It makes you grapple with these big universal questions and maybe reconsider how secure our little corner of the universe actually is.
So, the three-body problem. It's clearly more than just a story. It's this blend of suspense, hard science, moral gray areas. It sticks with you.
Definitely lingers.
Okay, here's a final thought for you to mull over, something to think about. The SOFINs showed us this invisible, all-seeing surveillance, even reality manipulation in our own world, with AI getting more powerful, with information everywhere. How much control do we really have over what we know? And maybe more importantly, who knows us?